it, but we it. Started from the bottom, now we looking top tier. Know that we the chose, so they made us feel the fear. I see God appear when I look into the mirror. I know that I'm the chose, yeah. And it's time to give us back the identity they stole. Rest in peace to the nigga that they try to make a me. Gotta elevate these bones, cause we the stand. Waking up the dead so they finally understand it. Now look at what is wrong, cream of the crop. No matter the problem, we rising to the top. I'm the progeny of God standing.
Welcome back to another episode of the God Standard Podcast. This is episode number 22. We made it to 22 episodes, okay, by the grace of Allah. And today we have none other than Coach Khan the Don on, and I'm super excited for this episode. Let me just get something out of the way right now. If you're watching right now live, if you're watching the replay, please subscribe to the YouTube. I'm actually in the process of moving the podcast over to its own YouTube channel. So we need to get some traction over there, okay? So we're moving from my personal YouTube channel to the podcast YouTube channel. So subscribe, share, like, comment, you know what to do, all right? So as I said, welcome back to another episode of the God Standard Podcast. On this podcast, we aim to spread and share light and life to the original people of the planet by sharing the stories of regular people like you and like me who have used the teachings of the most honorable Elijah Muhammad to become gods in their respective lane and in their life. And I am, like I said, I'm super proud to have this brother on here today. Brother Young Khan, the Don, welcome. Thank you for being here.
Peace. Assalamu alaikum. Hotep, what's good with it, everybody? What's cracking?
all of the things. Okay, so Coach Khan the Don, if you all don't know, you should know, but if you don't know, he is a mindset and business coach, entrepreneur, author, songwriter, father, artist, creative, hood specialist mentor, digital real estate all-star, okay? Student of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan and warrior for Christ, and the most importantly, your brother, our brother. Again, welcome and thank you for your time being here.
Man, that was a good introduction. I feel like I might be somebody special after an introduction like that.
Yes, sir, you are. And we'll just share too that I'm proud to say that Coach Khan the Don has been my coach. So there's that too. So he's inspired me, he's pushed me, he's held the fire under my behind to like get me going. So I'm appreciative for all, you've done for me personally. Okay.
Oh man, thank you. A lot of people, I coach them in some kind of way. They end up crying on the phone call with me. I don't know why. Their whole essence comes out when they talk to me.
Yes, sir. I was gonna save that to later on in the episode, but yes, I actually had a couple episodes ago, Teacher Tutu, who was talking about crying on the phone with you, and I was like, me too. Yes, you definitely have that gift, right? So you're very good at helping everybody else figure out their gift and what their talent is. So how did you get to the point where you figured or recognized that you have a gift for like pulling that out of others?
That was a great question. And actually years ago, in my quest to kind of find my thing, everybody seems to be in search of their thing. When you ask them, well, what are you good at? Or what do you know how to do? Most people struggle with that, right? Because they're focused on what everybody else is doing. Mm-hmm. And deep down, there is an esteem issue and the way that you see yourself.
Right.
And you look at the people you admire and you look up to, and you're enamored, you're blown away by what they bring to the table.
Right.
and you discount what you bring to the table
Mm.
because you know you, right? So you're
Right.
with you every day, 24 hours. You're in your head. So you're not looking for what's right. Believe it or not, you have a negativity bias. You're looking for what's wrong
Right.
because all your life you've been shown what you're not doing right. So the wrong is highlighted while the right seems so trite, basic, and mundane. You don't think there's any value to little old you.
Right.
You don't think that the way that you know how to fry the chicken is better than everybody else's chicken. You don't think that the way you know how to mother children and get them to read and cooperate, you don't see the value in that. So one day I was reading this book by Anthony Robbins,
Okay.
two books, or three of the most influential books, I would say. Number one, Message to the Black Man by the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad,
Right.
who taught and teaches, as well as his star student and representative in the work of the resurrection of our people, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan.
Hmm.
They teach that the black man is not just a Negro. They teach that the black man is God.
That's right.
And when you think about that concept, that's an awfully big leap from what we were taught that we were.
Right.
We
Right.
were taught that we were niggas, coons, colored people, boys, girls, anything other than God. So that is an identity shift. And we could say, well, I joined the Nation of Islam, and now the black man is God, and I'm the mighty FOI, the MGT. That sounds good.
Hmm.
But what do you really believe about yourself at your core?
Right.
Not as a collective group, not this identity called FOI or MGT or Muslim or Christian or
Hmm.
Jehovah's Witness. These are titles and labels. But
Right.
the most powerful belief of all beliefs is the belief of identity.
Right.
So Anthony Robbins gave this exercise in one of his books. He said, write down your list of things that you love to do, that you would do it whether you made money from it or not.
Right.
And I said, oh, okay, well, this is things you felt like you were good at and things that you love to do. I say, And I challenge all of you to do that are struggling with coming into your gift, your talent, or your skill set. Just
Right.
write out what you love to do that you would do, whether someone pays you or not, that you get up, you find yourself getting up early to do it or staying up late to do it because you're not getting paid for it. This is the thing that drives you. And I
Mm.
mean, don't discount nothing, whether it's watching the food channel or,
Mm.
the traveling channel, or you find yourself scribbling or doodling or whatever it is that
Right.
brings you your peace of mind, your contentment, your ability to escape the everyday cares of the world when life is life,
Right.
right?
Right.
Write that list down. And you will find that the more things you try to write, the harder this list gets. And you will realize that you have spent your whole life serving other people.
Right.
You have spent your whole life trying to get it right for everybody else. You have spent your whole life wanting to not be in trouble. And so as a result, you lose yourself in the process, and therefore you don't know who you really are. You
Right.
don't know, you barely know your favorite color. You don't even know why you cry when romantic movies come on. You don't know what it is about elderly people that just resonates with you and you want to care for them. You don't realize it's linked to your grandmother. You don't know that that little child you saw that you want to give so much love to is because you never got the love as a child.
Hmm.
So ultimately, the person that you desire to rescue and save deep down inside at your core is the younger version of yourself. So as
Right.
I did this exercise, all of the things that I wrote down, and it was hard, y'all, for me to get to my list of 10 or 20 things.
Mm-hmm.
But the more I looked at this list, I realized that the main things that I love to do has something in common.
Right.
And you will notice that there's a common thread when you do this exercise. So what I noticed that all the things I really like to do, whether it was rapping, whether it was being an artist, a lot of people don't know that I could draw, I could
Mm-hmm.
paint, I can design, right? I write, I'm a speaker, I'm a
Mm-hmm.
performer, I'm an artist. All of these things had one thing in common, and that was communication.
Mm.
So I like to communicate. And
Right.
I communicate my ideas through my music, through
Right.
my design work, through my ability to speak, right? And so I say, that's my thing, communication.
Right.
Now, how do I turn that into something that makes money? Because I don't want to work a job for somebody else where
Right.
they're putting a cap on my earning potential. I want to work for myself. I want to have the freedom. I don't like the I don't like all these stringent rules to where I just have to be a certain way all day, every day. I
Right.
can't function. It's difficult for me to be my most creative self. The
Right.
other side that I found that I like to do is that I'm happiest when I'm able to create.
Right.
So I took those two things and put them together
Mm-hmm.
and found out that what works best for me is that I am a creative communicator.
Okay.
So, oh, I might be on to something now. Now, that doesn't seem like much, a creative communicator. But if you use it the right way, you can do a lot of things because
Absolutely.
God is the ultimate creator.
That's right.
He's created animals, sun, moon, stars, human beings, plant life, animal life. Somebody out there is listening to what I'm saying. God himself is the ultimate creative.
That's right.
Nobody out creates him. You could look at you could pull up an insect out of the water and say, man, this is what was on God's mind when he made the
Right.
scorpion. I wonder what possessed him to make a snake or to make a bug that looks like a twig on a tree. But when
Right.
we're looking at his creation, we are also looking at his mind.
Right. Right.
And when you, as a direct descendant of his, the creator must create, the singer must sing, the writer has to write, the artist has to produce art. That is when you will find your most authentic self, when you do what you actually love. And when you
Right.
do what you love, they say the money will come. Well, the struggle is not the money coming. The struggle is finding out, what do you love? And the struggle is finding out if you even love yourself. So you have to come to terms. The Christians say that's a come to Jesus moment. Well, the Jesus
Right.
you looking for ain't some blonde hair, blue eyed, buttermilk skin, complexion, Caucasian floating around in the sky that was painted by Michelangelo. No, that's not the come to Jesus moment we talking about. We
Right.
talking
Right. Right.
about a real live God, a real live Jesus that unleashes the potential in who you really are and whose you really are. Once you
Absolutely.
find out these things and you begin to connect the dots, you begin to unlock your powers. So once I saw that, oh man, I'm a creative communicator. That's my thing. So I'm
Mm.
going to just spend my time continuing to try to create,
Mm.
continuing to sharpen my skills as a communicator.
Right.
And that's what I've done since I found that out or had that watershed moment. And as a result, I've been able to write 8 self-published books.
Mm.
I'm working on my 25th ebook or my digital book, right? I have a catalog of over 500 songs. I was able to do in the last 20 months 18 albums. Let me
Wow.
say that again. Not 18 songs, but 18 albums, 10
Right.
songs on every album. And here's a little side note. I want to give a shout out to my man, Brother Hakeem, the
Right.
father of the up and coming legendary golden child, and friend and business partner of the great sister Heck of a Mecca. Yeah,
Okay.
man, they out here representing. But
Right.
brother Hashim, this is a true story, y'all. This is a little side note. I recently released a song called Snow Bunny Crisis. You know, but we in a snow bunny crisis right now. And our brother Shannon Sharp, he's fallen victim. You know, a few snowflakes fell on him. You
Right.
know, not only him, but many of our brothers are caught in a snow bunny crisis. The snow bunnies, y'all. If you don't know what a snow bunny is, all I'm telling you is just Google it. That's all I'm gonna tell you. Dr. Umar Johnson has made it very clear what a snow bunny is, and we are in a crisis. These snow bunnies are taking the black men from our black women. Our black women out here suffering. They out here having our babies. They out here holding us down. They out here grinding. Yeah, they tough because the time and the circumstances that we lived under have made them tough. They
Right.
had to be the mother and the father, the head of the household, the
Right.
boss of where we live. Now, see, I know brothers, y'all probably gonna get mad at me now, but we gotta deal with the truth now. We've been
Have
putting the
to.
weight all on our queen. We've been putting the weight on the black woman. So as a result, we have become soft. Sister Ebony is what I call, I don't know if they're gonna bleep this out, but you know, I have to keep it the way it really is. We are living through the bitchification process
Oh.
of the black male. I'm gonna say that one more time, Case. That's a young kind of down word. See, I be having my own language, y'all. We are in the bitchification process of the black male, the effeminization of today's black man, to where we have become soft, to
Right.
where we don't clap like this no more as men. We clap like this. Now, here go a sign right here. You might be a little soft. If you're a man and these fingers right here don't touch when you clap, hey man, I'ma just tell you. You need to go hear a lecture by the Honorable Louis Farrakhan to get it together. Because should no man clap like this, brothers. I need to see, you need to make a C like this and put them there. You got to clap for a real clap. So when you have become effeminized, when you have become super soft, when you have become yellow bellied, when your spine has been removed and your testosterone has been decreased because you out here puff puff passing. Yeah, you know, you got this new synthetic weed. You're not even smoking real weed. You got this scientific creation, and it's weakening who you really are as a man in this world. Our women now have become masculine. Our women now have become rougher. Their voice has gotten deeper, right? Everybody's going through an identity crisis. Nobody knows who they are. You think you a man trapped in a woman's body, or you think you a woman trapped in a man's body and nobody knows your struggle. No, God, the ultimate creator, already assigned you who you were from the day you were born. And you either had male genitalia or female genitalia. In very rare cases, you may have had them both, and they call those hermaphrodites. But very, very few of us are actually hermaphrodites. And
Right.
every man has a feminine side, and every woman has a masculine side. But when the masculine in the woman overpowers the feminine, she becomes other than herself. And the same with the male. When the feminine side of us overtakes our masculine side, we have something else and we become unattractive. And when that black woman becomes too masculine, or as we like to say, she's difficult, she's hard to deal with. No, she has, as my sister Ebony calls it, a standard. The God standard. She has never been the woman of man. She's always been the woman of God. So when she looks at us as men, she is not looking for a man. She is really looking for God in the man.
Yes, sir.
And we do it so good, Sister Ebony, when we start talking to you, you know, we get the door for you. We're gonna call you the queen, and we're gonna bring you some flowers. We do all that. That's just to get in the door.
Right.
But once we go for the goodies, once we try to get the Reese's Pieces out of the box, After we got the snack, it's all over with. And now you become disappointed and pregnant. We become disappointed because we can't provide and maintain as we should. And that makes us fertile ground for the snow bunnies.
Right, right, right.
So I addressed this in this song, Snow Bunny Crisis.
Mm-hmm.
And my brother Hashim, he heard the video snippet, which y'all can check it out on Instagram. Uh, and he took and did a reaction to this song, Snow Bunny.
Mm-hmm.
He played it live on his TikTok, Hashim Hakeem TikTok account.
Right.
And do you know, in 5 days, this song has been saved over 2,000 times.
Wow.
It has nearly 10,000 likes. And most importantly, it's been shared about 10,000 times.
Wow.
In 5 days. And as I read the comments, not one comment was a negative comment. Everybody overwhelmingly liked it. They've been adding Shannon Sharp, and they say Dr. Umar need to make it his theme song. They need to send it to the NFL players. I mean, it's just going crazy, y'all, because I'm speaking to the Snow Bunny crisis. I'm not speaking to how much money we're making. I'm not speaking to what kind of car I'm driving. I'm not talking about how big somebody's backside is. No, I'm addressing the real issues that affect us in my own creative way.
Right,
and
right.
So this is just one of the songs in this 500 song catalog that I have. And like I said, as long as I do what is in me to do, then the money will follow it. The more you follow your purpose, the more the money is going to chase the purpose. If you out here chasing a bag, whatever you chase is going to be running from you.
That's
so
right.
Don't chase it, attract it. And you attract it by setting something of value before the world that is beneficial to the world. How can you help somebody? Before you put a post up, ask yourself, who is this going to help? How is it going to help them? Can I give somebody a tip? What is it that I wish I would have learned 5 years ago when I started rapping? What was the thing that I wish somebody would have told me? What is it about this business that I was looking for when I was younger before I lost $10,000, $11,000 and just blew all my money? What was it I learned about that relationship? What was it that I learned about being pregnant, about to have my first child? What was it I learned about cooking before I set the kitchen on fire that I wish somebody would have told me? You should write the book that you wish you could have read. You should write the song that you wish you would have heard. You should give the guidance that you wish you would have been given. That's where the money is. That's where your riches are. Right? So blessed is the man or woman who finds their purpose in this life. So I'm giving you a starter kit on how to find that. Make your list of what you love to do. Because the Honorable Elijah Muhammad and the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan teach us that the thing that you love to do, that is easy for you to do, is more than likely the thing you were born to do.
That's right.
I'm telling you, don't discount nothing. Take inventory. Write that question. What do I love to do?
Right.
And you're going to find a pattern. And as Steve Harvey said, a job is what you paid for. But a calling is what you're made for. And there's too many of us working jobs we can't stand, don't want to be at. You blocking your own blessings because you in a cubicle when God really wants you speaking to young teenage mamas out here. You on the fire department for 17 years when God really wanted you out here saving black youth. You out here asking people, do they want fries to go with their Whopper? When God really wants you to be writing that book.
Right.
And you procrastinate. And deep down inside, all of us instinctively know what it is we could be doing. But we don't believe we can make money from it. We don't believe anybody will pay attention to it. So we shy away from it and we live a life of feeling like we're doing what we gotta do. Now you go from surviving You're just in survival mode. And as I like to say, I have something called icon quotables. And one of those quotables says, you'll never be able to live if all you do is survive. When is the last time you rode a bike? When is the last time you went hiking? When is the last time you went swimming? What about all those things you loved to do as a child, but now that you're an adult, you're adulting?
Right, right, right.
When's the last time you played in the sand or put some finger? When's the last time you got paint all over your fingers and wiped it on your face and messed up a T-shirt? You know what I'm saying? You have destroyed the child in you because you couldn't wait to be grown. Well,
Right.
I would encourage you to learn how to go back and rescue that child that you once were and do the things that make you happy, and you'll understand and begin to figure out how much happier your life is, and you will find that your happiness is not rooted in money. It's not rooted in things. Your real happiness is rooted in you having an idea in your mind and bringing that idea out of your mind into fruition. I know that's like the longest answer of all times, but I hope that I said something in it that was beneficial to whoever's listening in your God Standard podcast audience. And shout out to you, Sister Ebony, because I've seen you on your journey. You trying this. One day you over here in the office, you doing sales, and you the mother of the year with all your children and your tribe, and you doing this and you're doing that. But now it looks like you might be on to something right here. You're on to something right now. So if you keep on going, the creative juices will begin to flow and things will seemingly just start to happen. But remember, y'all, it takes 20 years, they say, to make an overnight success. Are you willing to sacrifice? Are you willing to struggle? Are you willing to sit in that pocket when you don't get paid nothing? Ice Cube said, if you're not willing to go 5 years into whatever it is you want to do and not get paid a single dime, then you're not even worthy of what's sitting on the other side, because nobody makes it to the top of that mountain without a sacrifice. So
that's right.
I'm gonna end it right there. I don't know if that made sense.
Praise be to Allah. Thank you. No, I appreciate that. And something you said, well, a lot of things that you said, but something specifically when you're speaking about the money, right? And I've found, like, for myself, like, I could bear witness to the fact that, like, if you're going for the money, it is very it's difficult. It's there's obviously always a difficulty factor, but it's more difficult to figure yourself out when you're just going for the money, you know, in my experience. And also too, like, as a woman, right? Like, it's not in our nature to provide in that kind of way. It's not in our nature to, like, conquer in that particular kind of way. So the way that we go after money, I have found it has to be a little bit different than a man who's like, I'm going to grind. I'm going to be a go-getter from day until night. This is what I'm going to do. It doesn't work like that. But I found that when you relinquish that survival, as you said it, that survival mode, like, I'm just trying to eat. I'm just trying to eat. And you go for that genuine happiness, and you actually, like you said, you know, heal that child within you. You become creative. Like you said, we're made in the image and likeness of God. If God is the creator, what are we supposed to be doing as the image and likeness of God? We're supposed to be creating. And who creates? Children. Children naturally create. And honestly, I have 4 children, and it's, like, a lot to deal with, you know what I mean? But I learned so much from these children, just, like, literally just observing them. I learned so much about myself and my journey because they do all of these things naturally. No one has to tell them. No one has to show them. No one has to say, even write a list of 10 things down that you like. They just do it. They just do it. You know what I mean? So we have to learn how to, like, almost reverse engineer it. Like, yeah, you want the money. You want the money. We all want the money, but you have to go back a little bit and connect with yourself and know yourself so that your natural thing that you do, it just comes out. And then the money comes. People want to give it to you, you know? So yeah, I can definitely bear witness to that part of it.
So a question, and you are absolutely right. Children, if you study them, they are closer to their God-like nature because they don't know what the limits are. If you got a baby and leave it on the baby's not going to stop crawling just because there's an edge to
Right,
the
right, right,
bed. That baby's going to keep on crawling until it falls and hits the ground and it learns from the pain that it received. I'm not
right.
going to go to the edge anymore. Let me slow up a little bit. In fact, some studies have shown that by the time the average child is 4 years old, they have heard the word no over 400,000 times.
Wow.
Think about that. And there's a sister that does childhood development or child behavior. I always get the title wrong.
Right.
But Sister Tamiko is her name. She
Yeah.
says, and she bears witness that everything a child, really the basic child, we are formed at 5 years old. We're like a computer. And for the first 5 years, all that's being done with us is we're being programmed.
Right.
This is good, this is bad, this is hot, that's cold, don't go here, say no, stop. But we're like tape recorders and video cameras, right? And from 5 years old until we die, we're just living out that programming of the first 5 years.
Right.
And we're stuck in a loop. Get up, go to work, get a check, cook something, watch TV, go to the club, get up, go to work. It's just a loop. And
Right.
that's all we do. As Kendrick Lamar once said, wake up, drink, pass out, drink,
Right.
go up, drink. That's all we're just stuck in this loop.
Right.
And we become, like he said, a sinner. All we doing is we just coasting.
Right.
And we end up being unfulfilled, unhappy, because we are not doing the thing that God put us here to do. We're not doing what he put within us to do. So I ask you again, what is your gift? Steve Harvey once said, your gift is the thing you do at your very best with the least amount of effort. It's the thing that you do your very best at a high level with the least amount of effort. Nobody had to teach you how to do it. Nobody had to train you on how to do it. You just know how to do it. You just get it. You just understand it. You didn't read it in a book. You're not a dancer. You are the dance. You're not a rapper. You are the rap. Nobody taught you how to carry that note. You just naturally know how to be on tune. You just naturally know how to find the right notes. That's the thing, your natural God-given gift. And so the scripture, if I may turn into Reverend Khan for a moment, the scripture talks about, it gave a story of a man who was going away on a journey in a country far away. And he gave some people some talents. He gave one talent. He gave another one 3 talents. He gave another one 5 talents. He said, I'll check y'all out, when I get back to see what you've done. And the one that he gave 5 talents to, they took those 5 talents, I believe, and they doubled those 5 and turned them into 10. The other one took the 3 talents and turned it into 5. But the one who had 1 talent, they took that talent and they buried that talent. So when the master returned, he asked all 3 of them, what have you done with the talent that I gave you? The one that had 5, he took it and doubled it to 10. The master said, well done, thou good and faithful servant. The one that had 3, he turned it into 5. He said, oh man, you cooking well. You cooking. Well done, you good and faithful servant. But the one who he gave 1 to, he did something strange. He didn't multiply it. He buried it. And when the master asked him, what have you done? He said, well, master, I knew you was coming back. And I didn't want nothing to happen to this talent that you gave me, So I just buried it, and let me dig it up for you, God. Here it is. I'm going to give it right back to you the same way it was when you gave it to me before you went on your long journey. And the master became so angry. He said to that one with the one talent, he said, "You wicked and slothful servant." He called the man wicked because the man did nothing with the talent that God gave him. Nothing at all. So the master was so angry with him, he said, "Take the one talent from the man that had one and did nothing, and give it to the one that had five and turned it into 10. For even if you are given something and you do nothing with it, God will take that from you."
Right, right.
And that's where a lot of us are stuck right now. We only have one thing, and we're not doing something with the one thing that he gave us. And he gave each and every one of us something.
That's right.
And if you're not careful, that's why they say the rich get richer and the poor get poorer. Why?
Right.
Because rich people see opportunities.
Right.
Poor people see obstacles. Ooh,
That's
somebody
right.
might need to write that down.
That's
Rich
right.
people see opportunities.
Right.
Poor people see obstacles. See, if some of y'all seen the movie Sinners, shout out to my man Ryan Coogler. I ain't getting paid to say it. I'm just saying I went to see it. I
Don't ruin
recommend
it
that
for
all of y'all go see it.
anyone.
The movie is off the chain. I don't want to give no spoiler alerts for people that slow dragging, but hey, it's good. I'm just gonna say
Yes.
that the vampires saw opportunities.
Right.
The victims saw obstacles. And you should ask yourself in your life, what do you see every day? Do you look out your window? Do you look at your life? Do you look at your paycheck? Do you see obstacles or do you see opportunities? If you see opportunities all around you, and they are, you don't need every opportunity. You just grab one of those opportunities and do something with it, and it turns into something else. But if all you see are obstacles, you will find yourself trapped in a prison of other people's opinions, and you will find yourself disenchanted, disappointed, dissatisfied, eating, getting fat. Oh, I said it. You make food your God.
Right.
And then you look up, you gain 10, 20, 30, 40 pounds because you have said that there's no God but food, and ice cream is this messenger. Yeah,
Right.
you have become a fried chicken worshiper. That's what you turned into. Or you become a weed lover, right? So you have made your God things and things that would comfort you or use these weapons of mass distraction. You become addicted to the internet. Oh yeah, you can't get your thumb off the Pornhub. That's you right now because you're trying to be distracted from the reality that you are currently in because you refuse to use the talent that God gave you, so you will not have any peace. You won't rest well at night. You won't find any internal happiness until you do the thing that God has you here to do. And everybody under the sound of my voice, whether it's 200 or 2,000, you know that I'm telling the truth now.
Absolutely.
And it's only when you tap into who you are that you will find that weight starting to lift. It's not that everything around you has changed. It's that you have changed your mindset. And now all things are becoming new because you have made your mind new.
Absolutely. 100%.
Is that making sense?
100%. And I want to lift up this comment because, wow. Sister Mecca said, so when you live out your talent, you discover others. That's how in the story that you mentioned that he doubled them. And she said, wow, that's deep. And I agree that's deep because I never actually took it in like that, but it's so true because once you take the first step, it's like the other steps appear. You might not be able to see to the end. You might not be able to see the whole trail, but if you take that step, it will make its way out. And just a quick story to like bear witness to what you're saying, even me, I struggled. I've gone through a trial in the past couple years, and you know, it's difficult to see a way out when you're like stuck in the thick of things. You know what I mean? Like when you're stuck in the thick of things, and you mentioned earlier how we see ourselves, right? So it's one thing to be like, yeah, I'm an MGT, but it's like, how do you really see yourself? And if you see yourself as a victim, then you're not going to see opportunity. If you see yourself as a victim, yeah, you still want the money, but you're not going to the avenues are not going to show themselves to you, right? So I'm in this apartment and been here for a while, and I had a printer, and this is an old printer that I had like years ago, okay? And just put it away, forgot about it. Printer's there, okay? And this year I start homeschooling. I'm homeschooling again my children. And I'm like, man, I don't have a printer. Like a printer, anyone who homeschools knows like a printer is like one of the main things you need to go, okay? So I would literally go to the library and print a whole, like I would gather all my work that I have to do and go to the library and print like 100, 200, 300 sheets at the library, which was like a huge hassle, okay? And when my mind started shifting and I started seeing things differently, like I'm like, oh my goodness, I have a printer. And then I'm like, I pulled out the printer, dust off the printer. Okay, the printer needs ink. I'm like, okay, gotta buy the ink, get the ink. Now put the ink in. The ink is like, because the printer's been there for years, it's like dry, it's not working. I'm like, okay, I have to buy the kit to clean the printer. I don't know anything about printers, about ink, but I learned. I taught myself in that moment, and we learned how to do it, and we got the printer up and running. So now I have a printer, but the printer's been there. Nothing changed. Nothing changed but me seeing the printer and wanting like to, you know, go after the opportunity, if you will, right? Even before we got on here, I mentioned the vehicle to you, right? I just got a new car, and before getting the car, I was like, man, how am I gonna buy myself a car? Like, how am I gonna do this? Like, it seemed like such a feat, okay?
Right.
And when I like around that same time, I'm changing my mind. I'm like, just get the car. Like it's not that hard. Just do what you got to do and make it happen, you know? And I just say all of that to bear witness that once our mind changes, there's opportunity everywhere. But if we're stuck in that survival mode, we're stuck in that woe is me, we're stuck in that, oh, someone teach me, show me, save me. Like, no, it's in you. Like, it's really there. Not just in words, but in actuality, it is in there. The fire is in you. You don't need anything else. You don't need anybody else. Obviously, as things move on and progress, you need people, but like that initial go, you have it. You got it. You got the fire. So yeah, I just wanted to say that.
Think about this. God himself, we are taught in the Nation of Islam,
yes,
that God himself is a man, right? But
yes,
it
sir.
took him at least 6 trillion years
Right.
to create himself.
Right.
I don't know if y'all know how long a trillion is, but 6 trillion years before he created the sun,
Right.
he took that amount of time creating himself, building himself up in the triple blackness of space. Nobody to talk to, nowhere to go, no light, no sun, no moon, no stars, just in the triple darkness of space.
That's right.
Going through excruciating pain trying to figure it out. It took him so long to create himself, and after he created himself, he studied himself, and in himself, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan says he saw a second self. And that second self that he saw, we call that second self today woman.
Right.
And from those two came the entire human family. Many of you right now are living in the triple darkness of your own existence. Some of you are in the triple darkness of alcohol. Some of y'all in the triple darkness of weed. Some of y'all in the triple darkness of domestic abuse. Some of y'all in the triple darkness of not having a job. You're in the triple darkness of your life right now. But if you notice, the darkest part of the night is right before daybreak. It happens right before the crack of dawn is the darkest part of the night. But so if you find yourself in a dark space, look for the light. As my brother Winfred X, aka Knowledge 5845 from the Gram, always likes to say, whenever you have the darkness, the light is always present. But you have to look for that light, because when you change, everything changes. But if nothing changes, nothing changes. So what are you going to do different today than what you did the day before?
Right.
Like you said, the printer was there the whole time. All of us are genetically coded with everything we need in our DNA from the beginning to do what it is we need to do. We all come with the basic equipment at birth. Think of how this thing works. Think of how this works. You were emitted from your father as sperm. You had to travel upstream in a hostile environment without light, without a GPS system, without MapQuest, right? Without ways to tell you, make a left up there when you get through these cells and when you pass these veins up, you're going to make a right and keep on going and you're going to get to the egg. No, you had to go against in a hostile environment. Hundreds of millions of other sperm trying to get to the same destination. And out of all of those sperm cells to get to that egg, you were the only one who made it. Everybody else checked out.
You're right.
Now you want to go even deeper. After you've done all this traveling to get to the egg, guess what? The egg determines what sperm it lets in.
Right.
So, sister, that tells you something powerful about yourself. It's a lot of sperm coming at you, figuratively and literally. All these men are coming trying to get to your womb. But you are the one that decides who you let in to that sacred space, because whatever you let in and you begin to ingest it and you digest it, it will take on a new life. So the Bible says, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. As a woman thinketh, so is she. So the real power is not in the thing, the real power is in the thought. So you have to ask yourself, what am I thinking about? Because you move toward and become like whatever you think about the most. If you think about not having something, the more of it you're not going to have. If you think about how hard things are, they're only going to get harder. If you think about how horrible your life is, it's going to get more and more horrible. Because you are attracting, you are giving the universe divine instructions. You are giving that robot in your head, or what I like to call the subconscious mind. You are telling it what to do on a daily basis. So if somebody gives you a compliment, oh, sister, you beautiful. You say, oh, me? No, I ain't all that. See, you just gave your brain, you just gave your mind a command.
Right.
That no matter what somebody else sees, you have convinced yourself you don't look good. Nobody wants you. So I would say to all of you, this robot you have sitting in your head, you in control of it at all times. You can command it to make you money. You can command that it come up with the creative ideas. You can command it. You can say, like God, be, and that robot in your mind, that subconscious thought will say, and it is. Just hold on to the thought. And so the scripture says, if you have faith, the grain of a mustard seed. Notice it says if. That means if is hypothetical. So if you had it means you don't have it. But if you have faith, the grain of a mustard seed, For all of y'all that know how to cook or know something about spices and herbs, if you ever seen a mustard seed, it's so small you barely can see it sitting in between your finger and your thumb if you were holding on to one. Jesus said, if you have faith, the grain of a mustard seed, you could say to the mountain, be removed, and it would be removed. Now, you know, I did the research. Some say you can put as many as 100 mustard seeds on the head of a single penny.
Oh, wow.
And many of us don't even have the faith, the belief in self. We believe in God. Oh, the Muslims believe in Master Farad Muhammad. Oh, yeah, yeah. The Christian believe in Jesus. The Jehovah Witness, they believe in their God. But what about the God in yourself? What about that robot in yourself? How much do you believe in the God of yourself that you could ask it for something and trust that it will go to work for you while you're sleeping and give out the idea, work out that problem deep down in your mind? So I'm going to give y'all a cheat sheet. All you really need to get what you really want. Y'all ready for this? All you really need to get what you really want is to really want it.
Right.
Podcast over with. That's all you need right there. All you really need to get what you really want is to really want it. And everything in your life, take inventory. If you have a certain shirt, it's because you really wanted it.
Right.
If you ate a certain meal, it's because you really wanted it. If you got a certain person in your life, at some point, you really wanted it. The TV you're looking at, you really wanted it. The car you're in, you really wanted the car. Sister Ebony, you really wanted a car. That's why you got a car.
Yes, sir.
So when you really want it, as we are taught in the study guides, desire feeds the will. Right. So the first step is not willing it into existence. The first step is the desire. Ask yourself, what do I really want? Most people are stuck right there. In fact, Napoleon Hill said that 9 out of every 10 people on the planet Earth, when asked this question, they cannot clearly, definitively tell you what they want. They can tell you everything they don't want.
Right.
You say, oh, I want some money. Well, how much money? Because $1 is some money. Right. No, I just want enough to be comfortable to pay my bills so I ain't got to worry about it. Oh, you still didn't give an exact amount. Right. If you don't put a destination into the Waze or the MapQuest or wherever you're going, you can't expect to get to the destination. So you have to begin with the end in mind. Right. What is the result you're looking for? Don't worry about the process. Just focus on what is the result. What is the outcome? Here is the formula. Y'all ready for this formula? I said all you need to get what you really want is to really want it. That's the first thing. The next thing is know your outcome. Right. What result do you want to get? Right. Dollar amount. If you want a partner, what do they look like? You just say, I want a good woman. I see this show, Pop the Balloon. They say, well, what you looking for in a man? Oh, not really, just somebody who's honest, somebody who's not going to lie and cheat. What, you leaving out a whole lot of details. Right. Every time I watch that, we be popping them balloons too. Right. Well, why did you pop the balloon? Oh, man, shorty just ain't my type. Oh, yeah, you got a type. What is that type? Right. See, well, where does that type hang out at? What does that type look like? What does that type talk about? The more specific you are, the faster you're going to get it. Know your outcome. Step number 2. Take massive action now. I call it T-Man. Take massive action now. Whatever you want, if you want to take a trip. I always wanted to go to Jamaica, but you ain't even Googled to see how much it costs. Right. Oh, yeah. For years, I've been wanting to write a book, but you never took a pen out and wrote the first line. Right. Oh, man, I just want to get in shape, but you won't do one push-up. Right. Take massive action now. That's right. Step number 3. Develop sensory acuity. What is acuity? That's just another word for saying be sharp.
Right.
Develop sensory acuity. Pay attention. Notice what's working and what's not working.
Right.
If you want your food to taste a certain way, well, notice if it's right. If it's not right, it might need a little more turmeric. Oh, maybe I need to put a little paprika in there.
Right.
But don't stop trying to make it. Keep on working on it until you get what you want, which is step 4. Change your approach until you get what you want. That's a magic word right there. Y'all need to write that down and circle it. Until. You can do it, but can you do it until?
Right.
Oh yeah, you wanna lose 50 pounds, but will you go to the gym until you do? Oh
Right.
yeah, you want to be a great singer, but will you keep singing until you become one? Oh, you want to run faster than anybody, but will you keep practicing until you can beat everybody? Oh, you want to win a championship ring, will you play until you get one? See, winners make progress.
Mm.
Losers make excuses.
Right.
You got to make one or the other. Either you making excuses or you making progress.
That's
You
right.
can't make them both at the same time.
That's right.
So you got to pick one.
Right.
And this all will help you, family, to begin to turn your desires into money. Because if you're a writer, if you're a poet, you could write poems for other people.
Right.
Do you know how many people wish they could write a poem? Just something as simple as poetry. How do you think, what's her name? Maya Angelou. She became known all over the world from poetry.
Right.
Whatever it is you want to do, family, pick your outcome. What is the result that I'm after? I want to be the best entertainer in the world. Michael Jackson wrote that down. He said, the world gonna call me MJ. I'm gonna fascinate the world with every move. He wasn't always that. I lived 10 minutes from where the Jacksons were raised in their early years.
Yes.
Their house was so small you could throw a rock at the front door and hit the back door. How did somebody from Gary, Indiana, nowhere, Indiana, how did they grow? How did Michael Jackson become this world phenomenon?
Right. Right. Right.
See, newsflash, everybody starts off as trash. Everybody's trash when they first start, family. Yeah, everybody, well, I ain't really good at it. Well, how long you been doing it?
Right. Right. Right.
Give yourself time to develop. Well, I'm not really a good speaker. Well, how many times have you spoke? Well, I don't really know how to make content. How many times have you posted?
Right.
I don't know. I don't know how to do this. I don't know how to do. Well, how many times have you done it? They say repetition is the mother of learning. And now in this era of AI, artificial intelligence, you have the ability to do things in seconds what used to take days to do. And now you can do in days what used to take years to do. There is no excuse. You have something in your hand called a smartphone. Right. But it's like the more you use this smartphone, the dumber you get because you get lazy now. I come from the day when you had to remember somebody's phone number. You had to write the phone number down somewhere. Now, if your phone goes out, you can't even call your mama because you don't even know your mama's phone number. Because you have relied so much on artificial intelligence and devices to do all of the work for you that you stop using this thing sitting in between your ears and you have become rusty. So you can turn that idea into a song. This is how Icon Enterprises started. I had the idea. I wrote a song. True story. I wrote a song called Icon Enterprises. Con stands for killer haters and non-believers. So I wrote this song. I envisioned it. And the chorus says, welcome to Icon Enterprises. I didn't have an Icon Enterprises, right? I just knew my name was Con, and I imagined if I had a business, I would call it Icon Enterprises.
Right.
So I started playing this song, Sister Ebony, after I recorded it. Mm-hmm. And one of the lines in the song says, if the intro, listen to this. It said, you want me to coach you? I didn't even know I was Coach Khan then, but something
Right.
in me made me say that on the track. A
Right.
lyric said, want me to be your coach? Want me to give you game? You got to be humble and listen to the simple things. Change the way you think, even the way you talk. Read a book a week and start killing internal demons off. I mean, I was going in on that song. So after a few months of playing this song, I got another thought. I said, well, you've been rapping about Icon Enterprises. Why don't you start it? So then I said, well, what does it take? I didn't know what it took. So what did I do? I pulled up one of my assistants by the name of Google, and I found out how to start an LLC. Went and did it. It cost about $30 or $40 to make sure nobody had the name.
Right.
Other people had icon, but I had periods in between con. That's what distinguished me from everybody else. And as a
Right.
result, 2017, Icon Enterprises was born.
Right.
But it came from me writing a song. So from a song came a business. From a
Right.
business came clients. From clients came money,
Mm.
right? On that same album that the song Icon Enterprises was on, I had a song called I Work.
Mm.
The chorus said, I plan my work and I work my plan. Fresh B-O-S-S. That's who and what I am.
Right.
B-O-S-S is boss, by the way, y'all. Y'all see I got a hoodie on right now, say CEO vibes. Yeah, look, I
Yes.
plan my work and I work my plan. So I like that song so much, I named the album I Work.
Mm.
So guess what happened? After the song, I said, you know what? I should write a book. And guess what the book is called? I Work. 12 keys to doing something for yourself. So
Wow.
songs became books.
Mm.
Ideas became songs. Songs became books.
Right.
Songs became businesses. Businesses lead to clients. Clients lead to money. It all starts with the thought, family. So
Right.
write your thoughts down.
Right.
And you then can turn it into something tangible. That's you saying be, and it is. And if you need help with that, those are the type of things that I specialize in. Taking that idea, turning it into money. I help you to monetize your mind. So I met this, but I said I always wanted to own property. Right? I put that on my list of things to do. I ain't had the
Right.
money. I didn't know my first piece of property that I was going to own would be digital.
Mm.
So you got to be willing to think outside of the box. This is your box.
Right.
Think outside of it. So I put that on my list. You know, I want to have my first piece of property this year.
Right.
And I end up running into this brother online named Brother BNX. And he was teaching this thing called digital real estate.
Right.
And he put a quote up one time. He said, as long as I got Wi-Fi and a laptop or a device, I'm going to make some money.
Right.
I said, man, what the heck kind of, what in the scam is going on here?
Right. Right. Right.
How you go have money just from having a phone and Wi-Fi? I looked into his class. I joined and became a student of his in the year 2020. And do you know, I started learning. I learned his blueprint. I learned the things to do and not to do online. And the next thing you know, I became his star student. And in 54 months, from scratch,
Yes.
using only Wi-Fi and my smartphone,
Right.
I managed to make over $215,000. So
Wow.
I turned my cell phone into an ATM. Y'all didn't hear what I just said.
Right. Right.
I took ideas. I recorded 20 albums nearly. I'm working on album number 20 right now. So I recorded 19 albums, recorded, mixed, and mastered 19 albums on my phone. Did all the graphics on my phone.
You recorded it on your phone, actually?
Oh, come on. You didn't hear what I just said. My phone is Icon Studios.
Okay. I feel you.
So I do my design work on my phone. I do my graphics on my phone. I write my books on my phone. I do my coaching calls on my phone. Everywhere I am, the business is.
Right,
Because
right, right.
you ultimately are the business.
Mm,
You are the brand. But if you don't know who you are and you don't know whose you are, as an individual, you call it identity. As a business, you call it a brand.
for brand, right, right, right.
And y'all should write this down. The most powerful belief of all beliefs is the belief of identity.
Mm,
Because whatever you say you are, you're right. Not how you are. Say, sister,
right,
well, go ahead and sing something for us. Well, I'm shy. No, shy is how you are.
right,
But shy is not who you are. You have to separate how you are from who you are. And
right,
some
right,
of
right.
y'all, a lot of y'all are walking around like chickens,
Mm,
scared to fly. You got wings, but you don't use them. That's why so many people love barbecue wings and chicken, because the chickens are not using the wings. They got them, but they
yeah,
not flying.
right,
Or you're in the wrong environment. You got eagles stuck in the chicken coop. So they're never going to do what they were born to do because they're hanging around the wrong people.
right.
Start hanging around who you want to be like.
Mm,
The internet has made the world local. You can go anywhere in the world in the palm of your hand. You can go anywhere in the world, go to YouTube. You can type it in there. You can get a virtual tour of Jamaica. I've never been to Jamaica. Somebody been to Jamaica and they recorded it. Oh, I wanted to go to the Bahamas. Somebody videoed the Bahamas. Oh, I want to learn how to fix a car engine. Somebody recorded how to fix an engine.
right.
There's no excuse today. We live in the information age. Everything you want to know can be found in a book or in the palm of your hand. There is literally no excuse, and it doesn't cost you money to get started on your dream. Yeah,
That's
ooh, that's a good one right there. Write
that's
that down. It doesn't cost money to get started on your dream. What
that's
it costs is you having a focused thought, laser focus.
right,
Answer this question: what do I really want?
right.
Once you do that, family, you have started the process. All you have
Mm,
to do after that is keep going. Take
right,
massive action.
right.
Notice what's working and what's not. Change your approach until you get what you want. That's the
That's
ultimate four-step formula right there.
that's right. That's right. That's right. Wow, praise be to Allah. That was good. That was a lot. I know that that touched someone. I know that that touched someone. Um, so we're kind of up for time, but I had a one quick question, if it's okay.
Okay.
So, as most of the time when somebody is a coach, it is because they can relate to the people who are being coached, right, in some way or
Mm-hmm.
another. So for you, you explained that you joined, you started your business in 2017. You were already kind of doing for self, but like, what was your mind shift? Like, what was it in you and for you that went from like, okay, I'm in this environment, or like, as you said, we all started as garbage, right? Like, when you were in that state, like, what propelled you, and how did the teachings like help as well with that?
For me to become a coach,
For you to just have that like sharp mindset where you're just like, go, you're just gas.
and that's a good question.
Hmm.
And it all goes back to that one word, desire.
Right,
I knew what I wanted. And even if I was not totally clear, I knew that whatever I had wasn't what I wanted.
right,
And so I began to study those that I felt were successful.
right,
I listened to hours and hours and hours of Anthony Robbins. I listened to thousands of hours of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. I
right,
listened to hundreds of hours of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. I
right,
studied all of his books. I
right,
studied the study guides, right? So remember this: a tree sends a shoot, or a root down
right.
long before it sends a shoot up.
That's right.
So I was developing in the darkness. I was studying communication books. I was studying Think and Grow Rich. I was studying Dr. Dennis Kimbrough. I was listening to Les Brown. I was listening to Ray Lewis from the Baltimore Ravens. I studied Malcolm X. I listened to Dr. Martin Luther King. I went back and found the old tapes. I spent the money when I didn't have it. I bought the books one at a time. And I said, ooh, I know I can talk better than him. But how did he get where he is? Right. I became fascinated by autobiographies. I want to know how they did it. And regardless of who I studied, they all started from humble beginnings. Most of them started with nothing more than a desire. And I saw a common thread. Now, Honorable Elijah Muhammad, he was so poor, they said he used to eat dandelions. They said he was so poor, he would eat weeds, right? He didn't have no money. So money was not what made Honorable Elijah Muhammad. The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, he was poor. Malcolm was poor. Les Brown was giving speeches but sleeping on the floor of an office that he worked in. He was homeless, still giving speeches. So Eric Thomas was eating out of garbage cans. He was homeless. And I would say to myself, these people are not better than me. These people are not. God didn't give them something and give me nothing.
Right.
Eric Thomas said he had one goal. He wanted to make 1,000 YouTube videos.
Right.
Think about that. See, he knew what he wanted. He knew the outcome. Make 1,000 YouTube videos. Nobody said he was good. He would do Thank God It's Mondays. Right? And look at how it catapulted him. And it took on a life of its own because he was willing to just get started. So I became fascinated by successful people. Okay. And I know success, like beauty, is in the eye of the beholder. Success to me might not be success to you. To one person, $1 million is successful. To other people, if I can pay my rent this month, I'm successful.
Right.
It's relative. You have to define success. So Anthony Robbins gave me another thing. He said, I'm going to ask you that question. What does success mean to you? When you put down your definition, you'll notice everybody's definition is different.
Right.
So he said, you want to make it easy for you to win. So come up with a new definition of success. So here's my definition of success, y'all. Y'all ready for it?
Yes, sir.
As long as I learn, I'm successful.
Right.
So that wasn't no magic bullet. And look how easy it is for me to be successful, feel successful, live successful every day. As long as I learn, I am successful.
Right.
What's his name? Earl Nightingale said it like this. He says success is the progressive realization of a worthy goal. As long as you're striving and moving in the direction of your desire, you are successful. When you get to that destination, you have to set another goal.
That's right.
So you have to learn the art and science of goal setting. And the more I studied these people, I saw a common thread that ran through them all. They all knew what they wanted. They all took massive action. They all noticed what worked and what didn't work. And they all did it until they got the desired result. The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan is still teaching. And he's about to be 92.
Right.
Everything that he wanted has not fully manifested itself, so he's still doing it.
That's right.
Even old Donald Trump, Agent Orange, he got a lot of things in his mind, man. That man is relentless. Look at his first 100 days in office. They didn't want him to be the president. He knew what he wanted. He never stopped marketing. He never stopped promoting. He never stopped going after the people. And who would have thought that a man that had a show called Celebrity Apprentice will one day be the president of the United States? He's going to change the law and make himself president for a third term. First time ever in history. Why? Because he knows what he wants. Do
Right.
you know what you want? And if you don't, that's where it needs to start. Now, that's all I can give y'all for free right now. If you want some more, all you gotta do is tap in with me, man, and we can make this thing happen one-on-one, and we can change your life in 30 days or less.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you so much. And yes, I bear witness. Like, Coach Khan has helped me tremendously, just in my mindset, just seeing my gifts and my talents. And I highly recommend, if you need help in that area, he's the guy. Go get in touch with him ASAP. Massive action ASAP. Okay. Somebody asked right quick, is it icon or icon? ICON or IKHAN?
IKHAN.
Right.
So it's I dash K period H period A period N period.
Got it.
And so that is a play on words. So not only is it icon, I kill haters and non-believers, but it's
Right.
also me keeping out front that I want to be an icon, a CON. I want to be iconic, right? So I chose the name Killing Haters and Non-Believers when I was listening to Drake one day. He said
Right.
Drake stand for do right and kill everything. I said, ooh, that's cold right there. I need, you know what? Well, what can con stand for? I got
Right.
killing haters and non-believers. And the number one hater and non-believer that I have to kill is the one in myself.
That's
Once
right.
you get rid of that one, everybody else is easy.
Right.
So work on becoming iconic in your life.
Right. Right.
That's what I would say.
That's it, folks. That's all she wrote.
We're gonna have to do a part 2.
We whenever you're ready, definitely talk more and give more value. I know you're like a wealth of knowledge, so it's good and it's important for the people. But thank you all for watching. Thank you for those who have commented and been interactive in the chat here. If you're watching it live, if you're watching the replay, I want you to know that I truly appreciate it. Again, please go subscribe on YouTube, the godstandard.pod. And I will see you, inshallah, next time we have an episode. All right? So, assalamu alaikum. I pray everyone has a blessed rest of your day. Assalamu alaikum.
Peace. Walaikum salam.